Good afternoon all, sorry we are late, but here is part 3 of Monza's ERF's 8 hours Monza special event. Sorry my words aren't coming out, all been a bit of a rush today. A bit of a panic, but we are finally here. We'll get things up and running and see where we are very shortly. I say we do apologise for the delay yet again. Some things cannot be helped. This being one of them. Right, so let's get some info up and just see where we are, whether this will be accurate or not. I don't know because I've just joined. So we have DCT Walter in first at the moment, but whether that is accurate, because I know Nick was in the lead, and he would have been handing over to Welshie. We have lots of Walters today, but it seems we have another Walter in what is saying third place at the moment. And we have Sam back after a great stint on Speed Hunter. Thank you very much, Speedy, for the info. I knew Nick was in front when I last checked, but I've been here, there and everywhere, house full of dogs and all this kind of stuff, and friends' 50s, birthdays and all that kind of thing to do later on, and yeah, all a bit chaotic. But we're here now. And we have a shout out for Stormfly for the Black Flag Racing guys. I think it will be Sam in second if I'm not mistaken, but the order will start sorting itself out as these guys do more and more laps. Yes, there we go, 21 seconds between Sab and Welshie, and it looks like they're currently running at the mediums. I will get that on just to give me something to talk about. It does make my life easier having a strategy to talk about. It does look like Sab is doing the same as his first stint, with the mediums first and then switching to softs for the remainder. And while he's gone on the softs first. Could have won 48.2 last time round. Thing starting to spread out towards the front a little bit. Have a shout out to Stormfly, so let's give him a look. There he is for the Black Flag Racing team. I'm presuming the E's for E-Racing. We do have Mike's joined us on the stream as well. Another good stint from you guys by Nick. Where is the other MRL? Let's have a look through the order, shall we? So we do have Welshie in first, Sab in second. I think it's Walter in third, if that is right. Does seem a big gap between second and third now, though, if that is the case. Then we have Truth Serum in fourth. I say I don't think this order is quite right yet, but it could be. Sorry about this, folks. Just going to start the party again. Just in case Nick does join later on. Right, let's get rid of them stupid names as well. I hate that. There we go. That's much better. So we do have Johnny now racing for the Russian. What are they called again? Armamentarium. In the BM, up to 5th at the moment.
Apologies, I forgot to leave the party chat.
Oh, and there we have the Sakeo as well. We have a bonus voice there, folks.
Oh dear, sorry guys about what happened with Livestream 2. My Gran Turismo 7 crashed, so unfortunately we missed the end of that second stint. But yeah, things were looking a bit spicy. Hopefully things continue that way for stint 3.
Yeah, we missed the start of the third stint as well, so we're matching. You missed the end, I missed the start, so...
Alright then. Well,
Alright,
I wish you the best with that.
Yep, thanks very much for the second stint, and I'll speak to you soon. And in 6th we have an M3 Golf, which is actually a Supra for the MRL2 boys. They are making their way back through the order, but a big pace difference between stint 1 and stint 2. As we see, the gap really opened up at the front. These guys are nearly 2 minutes behind the leaders now. Whereas before, I think there was less than that for the whole grid. We are talking about P6 now. In 7th, we have DCT Walter, another Walter there. Which DC team is this? It's 1, 2 or 3, I can guarantee you that. Was 24 is for the DC team 1. And then, as we've already mentioned, once for Black Flag Racing, we have Stormfly doing a good job there in 8th, 1 minute 50.4 last time round. Then we have Wooly for the ART boys. Dropped back a couple of places from the first stint. It seems like more guys going out on the mediums for the first run here rather than part 1 we had. It was a lot more on the softs, I would have said. Yes, the weather has cleared up lovely. As pointed out there, the sun is shining. So perhaps the pony is a good luck charm as far as the weather goes, because we had good weather in the first race as well. Well, the first lobby, should I call it? It's all the same race. In 10th back there we have Yuppie in the McLaren. So the McLaren not dead last anymore, and Yuppie doing some good times. There he is on the softs, doing 1:49.4 on lap 2. But currently nearly 5 minutes behind the leaders now. Then we have Toro. It's for the DC2 team. Currently down in 11th. Presuming there must have had a bit of an incident in the first stint. Second stint, should I say. Then what do we have? Why can I not? We do seem to have lost a driver. We are down to 11. I'm not sure who we have lost. Ah, we've lost the Jag, haven't we? We've lost the GRT team. I knew they weren't racing in the second stint because of Gemini not being well. Oh, it's the EKS team. What's happened to them? Well, she now 22 seconds in front of Sab. Sab pushing on, it really is between these two teams for the win. Everyone else almost in a different time zone. Even third is nearly 2 minutes behind now. As we have Mr. Nick join the lobby. With Truth Serum in fourth. It's been a very good stint, 2 stints for these guys. Because they were running back down in 8th, 9th place, if I remember rightly, in the first lobby. I'm doing a very good job of making the way up through the field. Loose Moose Racing, all coming together, and he's on purple sectors at the moment. Johnny FR with the quickest lap at the moment since I've been in the lobby of a 1:47.7 in the BMW, and unfortunately the Truth Serum has just picked up a 1 second penalty at the second chicane. We can see in the background here, so we might have a little bit of a battle going on soon between these two. Both of them trying to exchange fastest laps, and hopefully they'll be exchanging some paint soon. This will see Dronny right on the back of Truth. So a 1 second penalty always equating to a lot more than a second on a track like this. But should be able to have regain his composure after the parabolica and get on the power and see if he can pull away from that BMW again. But the BMW proving to be a competitive machine. We will flick back to this battle very soon, but there is somebody else pretty close on track. I'm just going to try and work out who it is. So it is not 6, he is only 15 seconds behind this slide. It is only the lead 2 that seems to have absolutely smashed away from everybody else. As these guys all seem to be within about 10 or 15 seconds of each other. Now I'll tell you what, only 8.9 seconds behind Stormfly at the minute. Hopefully he'll be able to do a little bit of a recovery drive here. Both very similar fuel and tyre wear, so it will just be a case of making time. And then Yuppie in 10th, who's doing everything he can with this McLaren. Got lap 5 of 1:53.9, that's really not going to help things. We have Toro 23 seconds behind Yuppie at the moment. I think he will be able to bring that gap down as the race goes on. The McLaren really struggling for pace. And the Supra definitely not struggling for pace. A little bit of a flash of the lights from Toro. Does he know he's on the stream, or is he on a controller? One of the two. So Welsh Great now still with a 21 second lead over Sab. Sab not letting him get away any further than the 21 seconds. And we could... Sab with a 47.8 on lap 7. His quickest lap since I've been in the lobby. And as well, she's 47.8 as well. So they're pretty much matching each other's times. While she a little bit slower last time round with a 1:48.6. And we are where the gaps start to get back to human levels again. 15 seconds between Walter and Truth. But Truth has got Dronny right on the back of him now. So at least we have got a little bit of action. We shall jump on board, I imagine. Let's have a look. No, not close enough at the minute. And that was a funny little lift. Miles Great now sets the fastest lap with a 1:47.6. I expect to see these times reduce as the course of the race goes on and more people go on softs with lower fuel. Well, we do have a good battle here for 5th. Well, it's actually for 4th, but and currently on a personal best, and he's there and thereabouts round the fastest lap, so Ronnie could still be on for a quick lap here. Gap under a second now, so the BMW will be feeling the draft from that Supra. As we can see, the gap come tumbling down. Let's check the tyre wear between the two. It's all very similar. If anything, the BMW quite a bit better on that left rear. As he searches for grip on the edge of the parabolica. Truth trying to break that draft. Good exit there from Truth Serum, but the brunt of that BMW being able to pull it back pretty quickly. Both of them getting a little twitchy as they try and get on the power as early as possible. Truth will be feeling the pressure. That BMW is a large thing in your rear view mirror. As we can see how much bigger it is than the Supra. Is he going to get the toe down to the parabolica? Having to go around the outside, but it is the quicker line sometimes. If he can get the power down early, which he has done. Good line there from Dronny. Got a good exit there also from Truth, who is going to be the first up to turn 1. The Supra having the edge. Ronnie having to tuck back in again and try and build up to that again. Oh, but a bit of a bad exit there from Truth, and Johnny having to get out of the way as quick as possible. Things don't get much closer than this. Side by side into the chicane. Truth thinking better of it. And letting the BM go. Can he stay with it? Now that's the question. Yes, he's going to be coming straight back at him. Side by side. The Supra gets in front. Will the BM come back in Ascari? Will Dronny make a move? Will Dronny be good? Sorry about that. I'll get me coat. That's a very interesting battle here between these two. It does seem they're very interested, evenly matched. As we have Walter into the pits. Another strange one has gone in very early and just wants to get off them mediums, I think. Gone as long as he wanted to on them. Obviously preferring the softs, as I think everybody does, and when they're lasting this long, I don't blame people for swapping if you are slower on the medium tyre. Meanwhile at the front, Welshie now with a 22.7 lead and still with the fastest lap of a 1:47.6 for Welshie. Team MRL looking good at the moment. A great stint by Nick has given him a commanding lead. But Speed Hunter and Sab keeping them honest. In just 22 seconds, that's only one big mistake and that can all be gone. And we're still another, what we got, 3 and a bit hours. Anything can happen. And normally does. Serum and Dronny are still at it. Dronny looking for the inside, but thinks better of it for Ascari. I'll go for the exit instead and try and get the drag down to the Parabolica because he is nice and close this time. And yet again, he has already made a move in the Parabolica once. Not quite close enough this time. Getting himself out of the dirty air as he goes through the Parabolica to try and keep that nose on the floor. And now looking for the dirty air for the hole punched in it by Truth. Oh, big moment there for Dronny, but he keeps it going in a straight line, if he can call that straight. Done a good job of keeping it all together. I've got a funny feeling this is one of them battles that is going to go on for a while. They seem very, very evenly matched in the cars. At least making these two evenly matched. Whether they are or not, I think they must be fairly, because the BM seems the only other competitive car today. Of all the ones that entered, I'm sure there is someone else as Dronny goes wide again and just keeps it. Dronny twice now showing excellent reflexes. When for many of us that car would have been going round and into the barriers. Pushing extra hard to stay in the dirty air of the truth. The dirty air of the truth, that sounds like it could come from some weird American film. Now cost him a little bit of time with them couple of moments there. And giving Truth 2.2 seconds. Now Dronny's starting to struggle for grip. So we'll have another flick through the order while we are. Now that gap's opened up. We have Walter with 8.6 seconds back to M3 Golf. Make your mind up, mate. Which one are you? But the MRL2 team looking steady. His tyres looking really good, actually, if that's his first stint. He's been very conservative with his tyres. So we have an M3 Golf GR Supra. Now, if that's not confusing, I don't know what is. In 7th, we have DC Walter 24. As we do have 2 Walters racing for the DC team. Currently. Oh, I don't know that many Walters. Well, I do now. And we have Stormfly still hanging in there in 8th with 17 seconds between himself and Wooly. Who's got over a minute between himself and Upay. With that McLaren still struggling. As he's just been lapped by Stormfly again. I'm not sure if it is an again or a first time, but either way, lapped by Stormfly. But he has got 47 seconds between himself and Toro. Toro obviously having a few moments because his lap time's looking pretty good. With the 48.7, but the 58.4 not so much. But it does look like an in-lap. Yes, indeed it is, because he is on an out-lap now, but has picked up a half-second penalty. Welshing out, dropping off the pace a little bit. 1:48.23.52 last time, few laps round, but still got 21.5 seconds between himself and Sab. And Sab himself 48.2 last time round, so not making massive grounds, but it's a 10th here and a 10th there. And certainly using a little bit more time, less tyre than Welsh, and he's in the mediums as well. So what we have pointed out before, this is going to be interesting later on. So when Welsh goes onto the mediums, Sab will be on the softs, and if he's a second a lap quicker, he is going to eat into that lead, which will make a very interesting finale to the race. And doing a 1:47.7 on the mediums, he's really turned it up now that Welsh has gone into the pits. This seems like a very deliberate strategy to me from Sab. Conserve my tyres so that when I've got no fuel, I can absolutely smash it. And prevent the undercut. While she back out on the softs. The truth comes up to the lap. One of the DC teams on a personal best by over a 10th at the moment. But them tyres decided to look remarkably second hand now. But I think he'll be out for another couple of laps yet. As we see DCT Walter in the pits in P7. For the DC1 team. Let's see where that puts them out according to Wally. 39 seconds behind at the moment. Back coming down at a rate of knots, but Wooly will need to pit in the next 4 or 5 laps. Newpay managing to keep the McLaren in somewhat of contention at the moment. And the gap between himself and Toro not ordering much at 45 seconds at the moment. Toro bringing the gap down a bit. 48.5 last time round, so he was a couple of seconds quicker than Newpay. McLaren really struggling with the pace of these guys. And we do have Dronny up to third now. But he is flashing on fuel. As we have the truth. He comes out the pits in 6th according to this. But I am presuming 4 and 5 have got a pit. I'm sure, no, P4 has pitted. So Walter with the early pit stop has managed to chuck a few quick laps in. And get himself back into contention. He will take 3rd place when Johnny does eventually pit. M3 Golf Mondeo still hasn't pitted, so he'll have to come in a few laps time as his fuel looking pretty low, but he has done an amazing job on them softs. But saying that, he is a couple of seconds a lap slower than the quickest guys, so obviously they will be using more tyre being quicker. Gap down to 11.4 seconds now. 11.2. Welsh turning it on with them fresh tyres. Will we see Sabin at the end of this lap? Yes, I think we will. As he comes round the second Lesmos. And down to Ascari. Coming up to that Woolley again. Well, I think it will be the first time actually, I'm not entirely certain. No, actually it will be the second time, won't it? Yeah, Woolley getting out of the way. Excellent driving there. Yes, Mr. T, we have lost a couple of cars, unfortunately. We had no Gemini for stint 2. So we lost that team, the GRT team. And then we lost the Jag as well. The end of stint 2, I'm not sure if that's when the game crashed or what, but... yes, they have disappeared. Let's see how far behind Welshie. Sab will come out. The gap has gone up. Welshie really pushing. Up to over 24 seconds. You could just see him in the foreground then. And the 48 dead last lap round, so I know Welshie can go quicker than that. I think conditions may be a little slippery than they were earlier. Let's have a look at Ronnie and Truth now. What's the gap between them like now? After the stops, up to 3.9 seconds now. Let's see if Johnny can get on the back end of the truth again. So I think both on the softs now. And let's see if they can make a bit of a dent into Walter as well. What's Walter's time clock? Still 149s, 150s on the softs now. So I would expect to see 48s off him this lap, possibly. Now he's starting to get in the zone. If not, then I can't see him keeping hold of that third place, but I could just be speaking rubbish. But that gap is coming down quite quickly. 49.6 that time round. Johnny is bringing that gap down. It's down to 3.4 seconds now. 148.6 last time round for Johnny. And 149 dead for the truth. M3 Gold pretty much circulating on his own with 21 seconds in front and 12 seconds behind DCT Walter. He's currently sitting P7 with Wooly behind him and Stormfly behind him now as Wooly's gone into the pits with 0% fuel time, not to perfection. But I would imagine he'll have plenty of time between himself and you, babe. Who has no time between himself and Toro. So whether that's just the pit stops, well, yeah, but Toro's got loads of fuel and tyres left, and he's been doing 47.7, 47. So he's looking quick. Toro. So why are you so far at the back? I'm not so certain. Whether it happened in stint 2 and it's something I missed. Right now with a full 24-second lead over Sab. Savant has just set the fastest lap of the race with a 147.4. The gap from third to fourth has come down from 17 to 15 seconds in the last lap. A 149.4 last time round for Walter, and a 147.9 for the Truth. A good lap there from the Truth. He's managed to take another half a second out of Dronny, but Dronny going with him as best he can. But struggling to get that BM into the 47s. M3 Golf still on his own. Nothing changed there. And the same with DCT Walter. Big gap in front, big gap behind. And the same with Stormfly at the moment. He's got himself plenty of space. Sorrow closing right up onto the back of Ubay. That McLaren, a bad choice of car for today, I do believe. Oh. Sorry, folks, just dropped my keyboard. Welsh great setting his fastest lap of the race last time round, the 1:47.5. Does he go any better? Yes, he goes fastest lap of the race, 1:47.4. Top two exchanging fastest laps. We'll all jump on with Sab, see if he can improve again. Wouldn't surprise me because he was running 1:46s in stint one. But conditions may well have changed. But no, this is looking like it has potential. There we go again, a 1:47.2. Meanwhile, the gap between Walter and Detru are down to 13 seconds. But Dronny has taken a little bit more out of the truth. 48 dead last time round. What a truth. And what do we have for Dronny? A 1:47.5, just outside the fastest lap. I know it's 3/10, but it's still pretty close. I think this is the closest battle on track, apart from at the very back with Sorrow, who is catching up to the back of the McLaren rather quickly. See how quickly he can catch up, having to lift off there. Well, we can just see the straight line speed of this Super. Initially the McLaren was pulling away as it did get a better exit. Then as soon as the Supra starts stretching its legs, it just reels that McLaren in. I really do not want the McLaren to be successful in this game. You get that feeling. We've got Langster racing. He's absolutely shattered now, apparently. Good race though, mate. Your first stint was excellent. Some great battles you were having. You made some good streaming. Indeed, Mr. T, the battle for P1 is going to be very interesting with the different strategies. The one on softs, one started on softs, one started on mediums. So obviously that role will be reversed at the end. Can Welshie get enough between himself and Sab? But either end of the field. It's looking spicy at the front, it's looking spicy at the back. As soon as they get onto the straight sections down here, we should see the Supra start to eat into that lead again. There you go, look. As soon as it gets into fourth, it just starts eating that lead right up. That's ridiculous. The difference in speed is just... oh, a bit of a moment there from Toro. This gives Yuppie a little bit of breathing room, just for a bit of respite, just for a couple of seconds. And here we go again. As soon as we get to a straight, you're looking at 2-3 tenths, even more so now he's got draft. That is just ridiculous, the difference in power. You can see how well Yuppie got on the power there to put a car led between himself and Toro. And I wouldn't be surprised if Toro still passes him before the chicane. I know it is going to happen. Yupei not even really putting up a fight. Oh, he is. Well, this does mean the McLaren, as we all expected, has fell to the back of the field yet again. Unfortunately for Yupei, we know he's a quick guy. Doesn't matter how quick you are when your car's not quick. As we get to a straight again. And there we see the Super just pulling away. Well, McLaren doing a little bit in the draft. Now we have someone coming up to lap these guys. Is it Stormfly there, is it? Yes, I think it was. 148.2 last time round for him. And at the front, the gap down to 20 seconds. Welshie has lost 4 seconds in the last 2 laps. 148.7 and a 148.0. What did Sab do? 146.7 and a 146.9. This will be getting worrying for Welshie. He won't be wanting to see these times coming down this quickly yet. Will be interesting who is racing the last stint. Will be TTR Evo for MRL. And it will be a Speed Hunter again for HM Motorsports. Oh, it is going to be an interesting battle this at the front for the final stint as well. Oh, it was Sab that we could see in the background of these two. Getting out of the way, but just getting as much slipstream as he can to try and keep up these flying laps. The last 3 in the 46s. We haven't seen Welshie drop into the 46s yet. Well, hopefully he will to keep this exciting. 47.5 now from Sab. Well, another 48.0 for Welshie. It's like he's almost chilling round at the minute. Well, that left rear already starting to look a little worn. Obviously he did go in a lot earlier than Sab, because Sab been on the mediums for the first stint. Well, we can't say what Welshie's strategy is at the minute. He might even put mediums on next stint to get it out of the way. Looking like he's running out of pace after about 7 or 8 laps on the softs. Well, Welshie and dropping into the 48s. I'm not sure about Sab because he did stop later. But yeah, he does seem to be able to carry the speed longer as well. So worrying times for Welshie and Team MRL. Because HM Motorsports is coming, whether you like it or not. To Truth and Dronny, that gap down to 2.3 seconds. To Truth doing some nice consistent laps, 48 lows, 48 dead. But Dronny has been in the 47s, but dropped in the 48 lows himself now. And has just picked himself up a 1 second penalty. All that work he's just done will now be out of the window. Just leave you here 2 seconds, guys. And Johnny losing a little bit of time now. That's the truth. Gets that gap to around 4 seconds again. But the gap to third now down to 4.5 seconds. I think Walter is going to struggle to hold our fourth and fifth with the rate there coming down. Let's just have a quick check of Walter's strategy. He is on the softs and he is flashing. Let's check at the front as well. How is that gap holding between Sab and Welshie? It's down to 15 seconds. This is not what Welshie wanted to see. He will be feeling that pressure now because that's 9 seconds he's lost in total. And another 148, and I bet you Sam will be in the 47, still a 147.1 last time round. 47.2 this time round. Well, Gobby giving a big shout out to Walter, who is doing a good job. It's just the guys behind him are doing a slightly better one at the moment. That gap down to 3.2 seconds then, but it has gone up a little bit again. So After Truth had a little bit of a moment then. Did he get a bit of a wiggle on? Yes, he has. I think he had a penalty. Because that gap down to 2.3 seconds to Dronny again now. I've got to stop saying the word now. I say it way too often. Imagine being an English class at school. I'll be getting told off quite a lot, telling me to get my dinosaurus out and use some different words. Absolutely, Mr. T. There is going to be a great battle for the lead, as well as there is going to be for third and fourth. Dronny, that gap now down to a second. And he's going to have a little bit of a tow here from one of the DC boys. Is that going to help him close up any? As long as he doesn't catch him in an awkward place, this could work out quite well for Dronny. As long as he doesn't get caught through Lesmos. No, it is helping him, that gap down to just over half a second. But whoever it is, number 16, which one's that? That's DC Team 2. That would be Toro, who is using the draft at all of his advantage there. As he gets out of the way to let Dronny through. Just on the brakes a little bit earlier. Dronny taking the wide line, which he tends to take anyway, but getting on the power a little bit too early then. And all a little bit sideways. Gap opened up a little bit to just over a second now. We have the two Walters together in 6th and 7th now, with only 5 seconds between them. But with Walter 32 being on the nice fresh tyres, he should pull away quite easily. As we can see, the other Walter doesn't have that much in the way of tyres. Sorry, I keep flicking back here, but it is where the action is at present. See, I said at present instead of now. I'm trying, folks. And just because it has gone 5 o'clock, cheers, everybody. Dronny now dropped back a little bit. Did he have a penalty there? No, because he's only just gone past the penalty line, but he's threatening to be unlapped. And he has been. Sorrow there, but he will give him the toe again down the straight, and that is always useful. And I'm sure he will get out of the way again when Dronny gets close enough. Thank you very much, Mr. T. I will do. And we have Speed Hunter. You alright, mate? Yes, he is pushing hard, and that gap is down to 11 seconds now. 1:47.8 last time round, and he's flashing on fuel. Well, she's struggling to stay in the 47s and dropping into the 48s, even a 49 on lap 32. Is that a penalty again? But while she's in, he will be glad of this fresh set of boots. Hopefully that'll stop the gap coming down quite as quickly. As we see Sab take the lead, he's also flashing on fuel, so he will be in at the end of this lap. 3 and 4, meanwhile that gap up to 3 seconds again now. The truth seems to keep opening this gap up, and it seems to keep closing back down. And that left rear tyre again looking a bit ropey. I don't know about Johnny's, let's have a look, shall we? They look exactly the same, except Johnny's left front is worse. Now these guys will be staying out for another lap, maybe 2. What we do? Oh, we have the truth in already. This will be interesting now. Johnny needs to try and pull a good lap together here, and with them tyres, I don't think that's possible. It's certainly not going to be an easy feat. Especially when that happens. Oh, that's going to have caught your eye. As we see Toro off in the first chicane. Or should we call it Prima Variante? Probably not. Like I said, we do have Italians on the stream. I won't attempt to do that again. Now, what is the gap between 1 and 2 now? It's 25 seconds at the moment. Well, she should close in a little bit with the fresh tyres. And he has put a lot of fuel in. But the gap at the moment still going up. And Sab is in the pits. Fuel going in. Where is Welshie? He's only just coming around the parabolica. This is going to close the gap right down. I think we'll be very much in single figures. But still a lot of laps to go here. We've got nearly 30 laps to go for the leaders. Which, to be honest, is not what Welshie would want to hear. What's the gap between 3 and 4 now? Because I think Johnny will be in very, very soon. He has gone for that extra lap again. But the more laps you do now on these softs, the less he will have to do on mediums if he hasn't run his medium stint, which I don't think he has. But the truth, being able to close that gap with the fresh tyres. And he has come out in front of M. Walter by 4.6 seconds, as Walter has got half a second penalty. And gets it a little bit wide through the second Lesmo. But he hasn't got a lot to worry about at the moment because he has got 27 seconds over M3 Golf for the MRL2 team. And the other Walter, a further 9 seconds back in P7 for the DC1 team. I don't know why I keep delaying before I say team as well. My brain's not quite with it at the moment, it's all the stress. Dronny in the pits from third. Well, as we see, the truth coming down the start-finish straight now. And Dronny only just about to leave the pits. In fact, he has come out behind Walter. And he's lost a lot of time in that stint. Them extra couple of laps on worn tyres really costly. And he gets a 1 second penalty as well. Oh no. But still with 30 laps to go, plenty of time to recover. And he can have a nice fun battle with Walter for P4. At least to keep us all entertained here. Meanwhile at the front, the gap down to 7.5 seconds. Sab really pushing on with a 47.3 last time round on his fresh boots with a full tank. So expect to see him drop back into the 46s this lap. What can Welshie do? He did a 48.3 last time. He's taking his time warming these tyres up. I'm sure that's what Nick would tell me anyway. I think we're going to see these two battling before the next tyre stop. The rate this is coming down. Walter with 2.4 seconds over Dronny at the minute. Dronny fresh out of the pits, also quite short shift in that BMW. These obviously very talky car as well. He's on a PB at the moment. Thanks for just pointing out, it's amazing how many people use traction control. Do you know what, mate? I haven't noticed. It's one of the things I haven't looked at today. Oh, as we see Dronny going very wide there. Bits of gravel flying out of everywhere. Yes, traction control, not something I ever use unless it's a car that you have to. There are the odd one or two. Oh, and Dronny going wide again. Them dirty tyres costing him into Ascari. Get them tyres cleaned up, mate. That's cost you a lot of time. 5.6 seconds now between Walter and Dronny. And what is the gap between 3 and 4? That is 7 seconds, so he's lost a lot of time now. And it's been an excellent stint from the truth. The gap from P1 to 2 now down to 5.6 seconds. Another second gone. Well, she's still in the 48, so 48.3 again that time round. Just struggling to find the lap times at the moment. But not been a problem for Sab. We've done a 147.1 last time round, not quite the 46 I was expecting. Oh, as we see Storm Fly running a little bit wide in the background. Keeping my eye on the traction control icon now, as it's been pointed out. Good to see the leaders aren't using it anyway, but I didn't check Welshie. We will. As we say, Welshie is using it. That'll explain the 48s. I'm saying that it's active, he's not really using it as such, because it hasn't flashed up yet. It obviously is switched on. I have to admit, when I first started playing GT7, I did run with traction on one for a couple of months, until they changed up the physics again. What they'd just have. That may be one of the reasons people are running with traction at the moment, Langster. Just adjusting to the new physics, because it can be a little bit more twitchy on the rear end than the previous update. We've got down to 4.2 seconds now, so we'll keep a very close eye on that. But the truth is now 7.7 seconds ahead of Walter. And I think Walter may be starting to feel the pressure from Dronny, and no, the gap has grown. Dronny having another incident maybe. Certainly not a good lap of 48.0 when you've just put fresh softs on and he's wide again. M3 Golf still all on his own, 7 seconds in front of DCT Walter. And in turn is 18 seconds in front of Stormfly. 42 seconds in front of Wooly. 1 minute and 20 in front of Yuppie. And Toto has dropped to the back again. Toro, sorry, not Toto. Toro dropping towards the back again. So the McLaren not lost again until now. And there we go, the McLaren just not being able to keep up with the pace of the Supra, but the brakes and the steering work fine. And the mid-corner grip and the exit look. But then we'll get to the straight again. And by the time we get to the second chicane, that gap will be a lot closer than 1.1 seconds it is now. We'll tweet back to that shortly. Meanwhile, at the front, Welshie has a 1 second penalty, and the gap is only 3.3 seconds anyway. Welshie's all the track and trying to get a good exit here. Not quite sure how much that traction control will be hurting your exit, but it will be some, maybe only a little, but a 49.4 that time round with the 1 second penalty means it would have been about a 48 dead again. So not setting the board on fire at the moment, Welshie. The gap down to 1.3 seconds. Quickly check behind and jump straight back. The truth, 8.8 in front of Walter now, and Walter 4.5 in front of Dronny. Dronny starting to fight back. But we will jump back to the front as it is only 1.2 seconds now, separating the lead two. Don't forget, guys, this is after 5.5 hours and a moment for Welshie, and Welshie's off. But it's Chuck IGTS. No, it's not, it's Welshie. Welshie has binned it. We will get that back on replay shortly. I'm sure Welshie won't want it back on replay, but you know what, mate? Tough. Hold on a minute, it's not worked. For some reason, replay's not working at the moment. I have no idea why. Oh, I do. I know why. Yeah, sorry, it's because I wasn't in from the start of the race. That'll be why. So I do apologise for lack of replays, but at least we still have some kind of keyboard controls. I know Tanner will be pleased. Sab hands him a first place at the moment, as it stands. But anything can still happen. Got 5.6 seconds in front of Welsh now. He's managed to get away with no damage. So that's one thing at least. And all of a sudden it's only 59 thousandths under his best time. We've got a shout out for Wooly there, telling him to keep pushing, so let's get a bit of Wooly on screen, shall we? I think he's down in about 9th place. Yes, perfect. There he's coming in 43 seconds behind Stormfly, a lot of work to do. But let's have a quick look. Has Stormfly got a pit anytime soon? No being the answer to that. Sorry to break that to you, ARC guys. But Wooly doing a good job. Nice and consistent there, look. Seems to have found his pace in the mid to low 48s now. Well, we did watch his teammate Langster in stint 1 was running similar times, and then by the end of the stint he was running consistent low 47s and smashing it out the park. But Wooly, with not a lot to fight for at the moment, he's got to eat his way into a 44-second lead. But he's got 1 minute 21 seconds behind him because for somehow that McLaren is still in front of that Supra. So let's give a big hand and a big shout out to Yuppie, who's doing a great job of keeping Toro behind him. And we can see the straight line speed of that Supra every time we get to a straight. But the McLaren seems to be very good in the slipstream. And it is a very sleek, dynamic car, isn't it? It's far more supercar, race car orientated than the Supra that's following it. But just lacks the outright torque and power. Oh, what a big moment there for Yuppie. As Toro goes a little bit wide as well. But this still keeps the McLaren away from the back of the field. Sab now stretching the lead, 7.3 seconds in front of Welshie, who's just picked himself up a second penalty as well. Now the gap between himself and third is nearly 2 minutes plus. Well, it is well over 2 minutes. And Tronny dropping back, but Tronny has got past Walter. And put 3 seconds between himself and Walter. And I was just catching up on the messages, and Langster, can't believe you're going through that, mate. That's I've got everything crossed for you, and hope it all goes well. And yeah, excellent racing, especially considering. Yes, get well soon, matey. Unfortunately, it does look like P3 is pulling away from Johnny in 4. He can't quite handle the truth. But he's managing to keep Walter at bay at the moment. He's got 25 seconds between himself and P6. M3 Golf for MRL2. Well, M3 Golf only got 4 seconds in front of DC Walter, who is just about to be lapped. The other DC Walter, that is. But who is just about to be lapped again by Sab. Who's relentlessly making his way through the field. Yes, it is starting to get dark. Mr. T just reminding you all to turn your headlights on, guys. Safety first and all that. And if you're going out on your bike, put your lights on. And if you're walking your dog, put a reflective coat on. Stormfly 12 seconds behind this battle for 7th. But he has got 45 seconds between himself and Wooly still. But Toro has got past Yupe at last. But how long will that last? Because this battle seems to have been going on for quite a while. And it will certainly be making it more fun for Yupe at the back. Because when you're in a car that's struggling on pace, you don't really care if you're having a battle. Toro, I'm pretty certain, is on a controller. So as you can see through the left-right sequences of the track, you quite often see the headlights flash. That's normally when you've got your L3 button set as headlight flash, and you press slightly too hard as you're cornering. But if it's the case, and he is on a controller, he is very smooth on a controller. But to be fair, I have known people that still race on a controller and still race with the D-pad rather than the sticks, and they still look smooth. Whatever you're used to, but for me, it's all about the wheel and the immersion. As we see Yupe getting a good exit there from the Parabolica again, trying to tuck in. But the Supra just having too much torque and straight line speed. Even in the draft, the Supra is pulling away. I think Yupe will make some up on the brakes, which he does. But then the dirty air causes him to wash out. Sabnat with 10 seconds, nearly 11 in front of Walshy. Walshy did get back into the 47s for a few laps there, lap 43, 44 and 46. But then you look at lap 42, 155, and that wasn't a pit lap. So that would have been the instant, but then a 49 again on lap 45. Meanwhile, at the front, Sab dropping back into the 46s. Oh, and who's that we've got off there? That's MRL2. So that will be M3 Golf off, which has allowed Walter through. No, it's not. Yes, it has. So we have the two Walters running at 5th and 6th for the DC guys. The DC team will be very happy about that. As you see, the truth just past Woolley. It's a lap in. Is it again? I'm not entirely certain. Or is it just the first time he's been lapped by P3? I think it is the first time. I will check. Yeah, it is the first time. A little bit wide on exit for the truth. But not really helping Johnny out as it's 9. He is well in front of Walter now in 9.7 seconds between them. And Johnny finding his rhythm again, back into the low 48s there. That's for a few laps. He was having a few moments of running a little bit wide. Perhaps it was going from an empty tank to a full tank again after the top stop. That can sometimes be more detrimental than the grip, if you've forgotten that the car won't handle as you expect it to. .4 seconds now between 1 and 2. Well, she's doing everything he can, but he has dropped back into the 48s again. I'm pretty sure P1 will be in the 47s. Yep, 47.5 last time round, so that's another half a second. And 3 and 4, 13.5 seconds. A little bit squirrely on the exit there from the truth. As we see Johnny entering the chicane. Over 10 seconds between himself and Walter now. He's got a second penalty though for his efforts. Well, Walter seems to have dropped back a little bit that time round, so it's been a bit of a... It was lap 46, I think, where we had a 53.3. That's not ideal at all. And that left rear starting to look very second-hand yet again. But he has stopped earlier than everybody else so far, has Walter. So his strategy is slightly different than the front runners. Something's happened in front though. The gap between himself and Johnny really drops. What's happened to Johnny? He's got another penalty. Let's give the truth nearly at 16 seconds over Johnny now, and the gap between himself and Walter down to 7.9 seconds. And there we can see Walter in the background. The battle for fourth far from over. As we see Walter into the pits though, that gap down to 6.2 seconds when he did. Johnny really struggling this stint, and he has still got to run the mediums. I'm not sure. Walter did run the mediums earlier on and then he done a short stint on them. As we see P1 into the pits, flashing on fuel, really pushed hard that stint. As well she stays out. Bearing in mind, I think she did pit before Sab last time round. Or was it the other way around? I can't quite remember. There we have the MRL boys circulating together. Walsh with the orange wheels and M3 Golf with the green. Personally, I like both, and I'm normally a green person, but I think I do actually prefer the orange on that. Not sure what our viewers' thoughts are. Colour schemes. Walsh having a little bit of a better stint now. He is staying in the 47s. But again, like a few others have said, I'm quite surprised to see him running traction. Nothing wrong with it, I don't think. Perhaps it's just helping him save a little bit of rear tyre. I have known people do that just to get an extra lap or two out of a set of softs. Just putting traction on one, stop it spinning up. See DCT and Walter in, currently in P8. And Dronny with another penalty. Things really starting to fall apart for Dronny. Had a great first start to the stint. What with that? Lap 49 there at 1:53.5. That's a big moment. Or a big penalty, one of the two. Or whatever it is, it's been very costly. Oh, as he goes wide again nearly. I think struggling for grip as the tyres wear. And with that BMW being a bit twitchy anyhow, it's becoming all a bit of a handful. The gap between himself and M3 Golf at the moment is 36.5, but I did enjoy that chatter into that corner there, that was cool. So he has got plenty of time behind him, but the gap is coming down. What time's his M3 Golf doing? He's not at the minute, he's in 49s at the minute. So Dronny, not much to worry about. Got Stormfly now right on the back of M3 Golf, but he has got to come into the pits at the end of the lap. And we have Walter 32 right on the back of him. But this is good because we've got Walter and M3 Golf. Well, they're going to both be in, so no, we're not going to get a battle. But Golf and Stormfly, when they come out the pits, that's going to be a battle. Walter does make his way back up to 6. Stormfly stays out for one more lap. The tyres looking pretty good though on Stormfly's car. Fuel not so much. But it will be nice and light, and he has got a little bit of grip. We should see another low 48 from him this lap if he finishes the lap, but he won't because he'll be ducking in the pits. CM3 Golf in the pits and Welsh Great in the pits, and I'm sure it said he was putting mediums on. So Welshie going for mediums all the way to the end now. And he gets a little squirrely as he does exit there, so that'll be another reason he's got traction on. They have toned the traction control down now though, so it's not as much as a safety net as it was before. You would actually have to have it on 2 for it to be a safety net like it used to be, whereas before 1 stopped it spinning but also stopped it dying. When they first released GT7. That gap has come down a bit between 1 and 2. It's down to 9.8 seconds. So what's happened to Sab here? A bit of a bad lap. Bit of a penalty, maybe. No, slowly creeping back up again, but it was 12 seconds, don't forget, guys. I think Walsh may have had a good couple of in-laps there. As we see Stormfly into the pits with 1% of fuel remaining. The Truth has been in the pits now and puts himself on a nice fresh set of mediums to get him till the end of the race. With 14 laps to go for The Truth. Will Dronny come in? No, he will stay out for one more lap. We'll probably do something similar and whack on a set of mediums and run till the end. I don't think Dronny has run the mediums yet, but I could be wrong. Also now in 5th. How far is he behind The Truth? 25 seconds now, so The Truth really has checked out from that battle for 3rd. It's very much his to lose now. DCT Walter is now 4.5 seconds in front of M3 Golf. Can M3 Golf do anything about it? He's on the softs. What's Walter on? He's also on the softs. Also see Walter using the Welsh great strap there. Not much Welsh he can do about it. The gap between 1 and 2 is now 12 seconds. Oh, but Sab has got a penalty. So that gap will be coming down to close to 10 seconds. As long as Welsh doesn't get himself a penalty. As we see Dronny in, and he does! Oh, definitely curse for the commentator there. And Dronny does come out on the mediums to go to the end, but the gap between himself is 17 seconds now to 3rd. So to recover up to 3rd before the end of the stint is going to take an accident by The Truth, I would have said. 3rd is his to lose. Well, we do have Walters only 6 seconds behind Dronny now. And the gap coming down. He is on the softs. But is he going to have enough fuel and tyre to go the distance to the end? I'm thinking not. With Dronny just pitting, he's put like nearly 3/4 of a tank in. And now he's got a second penalty. Oh no. Gap at the front just going up now, 13.9 seconds. But don't think this is over, guys. Don't forget, Nick did have like 26 seconds at the start of this. And now Welshie is 14 seconds behind. And with well over 2 hours to go. Sorry if you heard some ringing a minute ago. I didn't even hear my phone, but yes, it did ring. We'll keep our eyes on this as well, because Walter is really bringing that gap down to Dronny now. Currently under 3 seconds. And we also have a gap of only 4.7 seconds between DCT Walter and Stormfly. Can Stormfly close this down at all? We do have Walter on racing softs. What is Stormfly on? He's also on racing softs. And he's got M3 Golf right behind him now. There we go with that now again. Yes, well pointed out, that is, whoever mentioned that. At the Loose Moose team, which are in P3 with the truth. They are our highest movers of the day. As in the first stint, they were in about 8th, 9th, between 8th and 10th for most of the race. With Toto Wolff. Not the Toto Wolff we know, as he was Japanese and not Austrian. But yes, a great job from the whole team, I think. I mean, the first stint as well, even if you were in 9th, you weren't that far behind the leaders. They were still within a lap. It's one of the closest finishes I've seen over a 2-hour stint for a good while. He has now got 19 seconds over Dronny in 4th, who's only got 1.6 in front of Walter. Stormfly now has started pulling away from M3 Golf. The gap up to 4 seconds, that's 2.8 seconds, sorry, and 4.1 behind DCT Walter. Gap between 8 and 9 is 58 seconds. M3 Golf, not a lot to worry about. He can just push on and try and catch Stormfly. But Toro in front of Upay now, but only by 1.7 seconds. Upay with the position to play for still. Actually, I will point out that loose moves aren't the biggest movers, because at the end of the first stint, DC Team 2 were in P1. They're currently in P11. I made that 10 places, but in the wrong direction. So unlucky, guys. But Toro still giving it anything and having great fun battling with Yupe in the McLaren. This is all good experience. And any racing is practice, no matter how you put it. And these endurance races are one of the best ways to do it, because you get your consistency and start to eradicate some of your mistakes. Another half a second penalty there for Toro. But with 1.7 minutes, 1 minute and 7 seconds to make up to P9 Wooly. And Wooly looking pretty safe in 9th at the moment. Up here, M3 Golf 4 seconds behind Stormfly. Still, how close is Stormfly to Walter? That gap at 4.5. Walter to Walter, we have 27 seconds at the minute. Between Walter and Donny, that down to 1 second. Oh, getting a little bit misty on track at the minute. Will that be affecting traction? I would think so, slightly. What is the gap at the very front? We'll come straight back here. The gap now 21 seconds between Sab and Welshie. Only 6 laps to go after this one. Right, we are down to half a second. What can Johnny do against Walter? The softs versus the mediums. Johnny running some nice consistent times on the softs, mediums even. 1:48.3. But Walter right on his tail. And that Supra going to have the straight line speed and the inside line and the better tyres. Not sure what state his tyres are in. I'm sure that would be worse than the mediums, but they're still looking pretty good. It's just whether he's going to have enough fuel to get to the end. Do we think he's got 7 laps of fuel on board that one? Well, 8 laps in total, because they've only just started lap 61. And Johnny looking to come back, but thinking better of it. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel, so you'll be able to catch all our future broadcasts. Walter still on the hunt here. That gap down to nearly under 2 seconds. It's just on the 2 second cusp at the moment. There we go with the at the moment again, and now I need to stop it. Do we have any action anywhere else? Well, we have got a little bit of a breather, not much. 26 seconds now between Sab and Walshy. Walshy just struggling to keep up with Sab's relentless pace. And Walshy dropping into the 49s on them mediums. But 3 laps to go for these guys now after this one. Multac keeping that gap to around 2 seconds from Dronny though. And he has took a little bit of time out of the Truth the last couple of laps. The Truth had a bad lap, has he? Let's have a quick look. Yeah, 150 there on lap 60. And a 149 for last lap. And 58. Definitely a little bit slower on them mediums. Got a 49 dead last time round. Got the gap down to 14 seconds now. So Walter taking some time out. Be handing over to his partner in a reasonable position here to challenge possibly for a podium. And no problem for doing the stream. I just wish I had more time and didn't feel quite so rushed. But nobody's fault. One of them, we did have somebody who was unwell today, so get well soon, Gemini. And we hope to have you back ready in time for the next lot, which will be coming up in a few weeks' time. Actually, I believe there's an event next week, isn't there? Isn't there one Saturday? Right, let's have a look at 4 and 5. That gap up to 3.6 seconds now. 148.2 last time round from Walter. And a 149.8 from Dronny. The mediums, as we know and as you would expect, definitely not as quick. Even as the softs start wearing, they still seem to be quicker than the mediums. With the new tyre model. Which makes sense but kind of doesn't at the same time. So we'll just leave them to them. 1.9 seconds between Stormflight and Walter. Stormflight not giving up on this 6th place. But Walter showing some good pace there, the 147.9 and a 148.7. And low 148s consistently for Stormfly. Now that is consistency. Last 5 laps, or is it? Yep, 5 laps, all within a 10th. So great job by the Black Flag E-Racing team. Oh, and another penalty for Dronny. Just as that gap was coming down, it was down to 2.3 seconds. And now he's going to have to serve another second penalty. Meanwhile, at the front, these guys on lap 67 of 68 for them. And Sam will be coming round to start his final lap. I'm presuming Nick is taking stint 4. I would have thought he may have joined the party, but he's got his own thing going on. Nearly 30 seconds now, well over 30 seconds between Sab and Welshie. Sab just been too much today for Welshie. Absolutely black flag racing. Can't say enough. It's been a great stint for Stormfly there in 7th. And he is still in contention for 6th at the moment. With 2 laps to go for them guys. Let's have a look at the tyres on Walter's car. They look not as good as Stormfly's. So maybe we will see that gap come down even more. Dronny meanwhile trying to push on. Who was that parked up at the side? I think that may have been Toro. Let's have a look, shall we? Yes, it was, because he has gone back to the back. And he's just got a brand new set of softs on by the look of it. So was it Toro? I don't think it was. So that means it's one of the Walters. I think it was P5 Walter. It was P5 Walter. And he's got front end damage. And this has put Dronny back up to 4th. So DC team have handed Dronny 4th place. Like I say, you never know. Only a couple of laps to go for them guys. And we do have Sab in the pits and stationary. So stint 3 should now be officially underway. As we see Welshie heading towards the pits. Let's hand over to TTR Evo once he comes to a standstill. But then we will have a bit of a wait for the next guys to come in. And he is stationary. Next along will be the Truth, but he has got 18.5 seconds between himself and Dronny, so nothing to worry about there. But he has still got another lap to go after this one. What has Dronny got behind him? He's got 15 seconds between himself and Walter now. And Walter is carrying that front end damage. And he has got 7 seconds between himself and his team. As we see Stormfly making the move. Stormfly up to 6. Well, Black Flag E-Racing. We did notice prior that DCT Walters tyres were looking a bit ropey, and as you can see, Stormflies are considerably better, but 47.8 on lap 64 as we see Walter off. That's both Walters gone in a matter of laps with the same damage on both cars. It's all happening here. How far away from the finish is the Truth? He's just coming around the parabolica for the final time. No, he's not. Wrong corner. He's going through Lesmo for the final time. as the truth does come through Ascari for his final time, heading up towards the Parabolica before pulling into the pits to hand it over to the driver for the final stint. And the truth serum is in as we watch Dronny come round the Parabolica and into the pits for the last time to hand it over. And stationary. We have Walter coming in as well. And Stormfly in P6. So that gap really close now as well. So this worked out really well for Stormfly. He's handing over the Black Flag racing car in a really good position here. He will be battling it out for 5th. And that's with massively overfueling. He went to the pits with 9% of fuel left. And we do have M3 Golfing as well. The second of the MRL cars. Only a few more to go, guys. P9 Wooly, who's just come through Ascari for the last time. And into the Parabolica. That's ART pulled up P9. They should be leaving any second now. This just leaves the McLaren of UPay and the DC1 team. Sorry, is it 1 or 2? Sorry, DC2 team. UPay with nearly 20 seconds over Toro. Again, flashing on fuel, but absolutely brilliant on tyres. As it looks like he stopped to put them on in lap 60. So only an 8-lap stint on these boots. Let's flip back to UPay as he comes through the Parabolica for the last time. One of only 2 cars that's not a Supra running today. There was 3, but we did lose 1. And last but not least, here is Toro to get the DC2 team underway. And stationary. Well, there we have it, guys. If you haven't already, quickly jump over to the 4th and final stream. I have been Ponyboy, and I will leave you here. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next week. Have a good rest of your weekend, and stay tuned to ERF. Don't forget to give us a like, a subscribe, and a thumbs up, and see you all soon.